My name is Jason Smith. I'm an Associate Professor of Surgery, University of Louisville. I'm also the CMO of our hospital and the Division Chief of General Surgery at University of Louisville. I won both scholarships, actually. I won the East Research Scholarship about 2 years into my first academic practice, working in a basic science laboratory on different resuscitation strategies. Then I actually won the Templeton Scholarship a couple of years later doing burn research and looking at outcomes and intervention in burn recidivism and developing programs around how we can keep kids that have fire-starting behavior from increasing their risk for burns. So the research scholarship really gave me a foundation to start a basic science laboratory and continue the work that was being done at the University of Louisville. Now, I don't think it can be overestimated how important it is to get that kind of funding in your career and have someone from the outside for any type of monetary fund say that we believe in what you're doing and we believe in your research proposal. It goes a long way to opening doors for further grants, such as a K award or other external grants, and eventually an R award. For me, that was one of the first grants that I ever won. I'd got an internal grant to begin to get the project started, but the East grant really gave me a chance to kind of expound on the ideas that we had and develop some preliminary results. You still wind up having to beg and borrow and steal from your mentors to get things done, but it really gave me a chance, particularly when I was applying for my K award later on, that I had this project, it had this kind of funds, and I was able to have some very strong preliminary evidence for what we were proposing. I think, to me, that was the best part about the entire scholarship, is getting that leg up and that chance. I would tell you it's the foundation. When you look at a research career, it's really a stepwise fashion. You get some external funding from organizations like East. You try to apply for a K award if that's part of your career development plan for research. And then hopefully get some external research support from either the NIH or the Department of Defense or some of the other research entities that are currently supporting surgeon scientists across the country. I would say you can't get one without the other. I think this is a really important first step in a lot of people's careers. Well, it gets you noticed, would be the first thing I would say. I think even early on, when you win the scholarships, it gets people to understand that you're dedicated to not just the practice of surgery, but also the profession and education and taking a different step outside of the regular clinical practice for surgery. For me, for example, it shows that you've got some dedication to research, which is difficult to do these days, and it shows that you've got some dedication to developing an academic career. And people within East notice, people outside of East notice, and a lot of the other surgical organizations, and it gives you that opportunity to begin to interact with people on a more significant level. Never give up would be the first one. It's a really difficult time sometimes, particularly right now, in trying to get early research funding. I always say you get 10 to 20 rejections for every one, but I always tell people it's just part of the game. It's part of understanding and developing your research proposal. Every time you fail, you'll get better at it, so never ever give up on that. If it's something you really are dedicated to and enjoy, make sure you stay with it. For me, research really gives you a difference. It gives you a different look at things when you're in an ICU or you're in a resuscitation area. It gives you a very different take and a chance to really step back and think about things differently than I would say if I were in a trauma bay or in an operating room. And, it's really enjoyable and really fulfilling, particularly now that the lab is up and established. I have residents, I have PhD students that come through. I've got master's degree students. Getting to interact and teach an entirely different group of people about an entirely different kind of discipline when we're talking about science. It's a lot of fun and it's very enjoyable. I love this meeting. I love this organization. I always say people start to develop the relationships that they're going to have their entire lives right within this very organization. You all start out, you're all kind of the same age, and even though you kind of spread out across the country, you know that once a year here, maybe in some of the other organizations, you're going to get together, you're going to see each other, you're going to catch up on each other's lives. And it's a lot better than Facebook, I'll give you that much. And so for me, I think this really is where a lot of people first develop those relationships, and that's what makes academic surgery fun. It's what really makes it fulfilling to do what we do. Well, one thing I always personally feel is that I use it this way: East gave me a loan. When I won that scholarship, it's my job then to help pay this back, either through donations through the foundation, helping others achieve funding, helping educate others. So you're really trying to pay this forward to others in the organization and outside the organization, and just in the disciplines of trauma surgery. It's how I can pay back what East gave to me when I first started my career.